Come on, Maverick. Give him one. Come on.
Hey everybody, Josh here from the J Side. Friday? Yeah, this one's Friday. The last one threw us off a little bit, but we're back on Friday. I believe we are currently on number 14 or something. I don't know how to keep track of them, but I think we're on 14. Anyway, crazy week. Got a lot of stuff done. Got a little bit of footage to share with you. So this week, we're going to start off with a cruise night. That was awesome. First cruise night for that one in a while. For the season, it was the Damascus Shrine in like Webster, New York. They do that every Friday night. If you're in the area, check it out. Pretty cool. After that, we let's just get to it. Let's get into garage time. Let's talk about garage stuff.
Can you see me? You, right there. Okay. So today, we are working on this guy, the hashtag Red Rocket. I'm going to. All right. I'm determined to get this thing rolling, like soon. I'm gonna set myself a unrealistic goal of like this weekend. Anyway, so today I've been having some troubles with shifter linkage. Automatic shifter, originally out of a floor shift Mustang. The linkage is all wonky, and there's no mounts for cables. So I can't just put a shift cable on it. The car had a rod style shifter. But what I figured out with the headers and the no room that's in there, I took the stock shifter Z-bar-y thing, you know, kind of looks like that in the car. So what I did was I sawed the end off. At first I tried to put a little taper on it and see if it'd fit in the hole for the clutch in the block. Not close. It's off a little bit. And it would take machining it to make it fit tight enough so that the shifter didn't wobble around too much. I cut the other arm off. This was originally welded on like that. But because the headers are in the way, there's enough room between the headers to slide this bar in. And I cut the bar, this off, so I can now slide this anywhere I want on that shaft and line it up. I've already played with it. I know that it works. So now the next step is to fix this rubber bushing right there. There's a lot of side plays. So what I'm gonna do, let's come this way. I'm gonna make a bracket to run from here back to here, just to stiffen it, kind of square it off a little bit. If I was like the B side, I would take it to work. I would punch it out, machine it, put a bearing boss on it, press it all together, and it'd be glassy smooth. I don't work in a machine shop anymore. It's been years. I don't have time to wait for Ben to do it. So I'm just going to make a loose fitting steel hole. It's going to have a little bit of play, but it ought to be pretty good. And then just quickie weld it on there. So what I did next was dig through my box of brackets. Now, I don't know about you car guys, but anytime I take something apart and there's a weird shaped bracket, I throw it in a bucket. And it sits in a locker in my basement that says fabrication bucket stuff. I now have 3 possible ones. I think I'm going to use the bar. I think I'm going to heat this thing up. I'm going to drill it out a little bit bigger so it slides over that shaft. I'm going to bend it up, and then I'm going to butt weld it to the side of that bracket, and that should stiffen the heck out of it. I can't hold a camera and grind and weld stuff, so I'm going to put some little stillies in here, right up there. No, not up there. Just get rid of the screen. Go to smooth. Go to stillies. All right, so I'd like to say, sorry for the lighting. I'd like to say that I planned this to make this shifter arm stiffer, but I didn't. I actually didn't think about the fact that there's a bushing that goes right there that I kind of neglected to keep cold. Obviously, when you weld stuff, it melts rubber. So, I found this guy in my random bucket of stuff. It's just a roll pin collar for something. So, put a hardened washer between the shifter arm and the linkage. And now I'm going to weld that little plate on there. This little guy. And it'll be stiffer than it was before. No bearings, but how often are you really monkeying with a shifter anyway? So that was pretty cool, right? Linkage fit pretty good. Had a little bit of header clearance issue even after I monkeyed with it forever. I must have taken that thing in and out of there about 10, 15 times, and it's a tight fit. But I got it to shift through all the gears. Nice and click, click, click. Probably going to have to come back out and... yeah, not looking forward to that. But anyway, we did a little bit of fabrication that didn't work out so well. All right, now we're on to radiator. So let's talk about what we got here. Back in the 70s and 60s, cars typically didn't have shrouds over the fan to keep it cool. So I'm gonna try to make one out of the shroud off the 5.0 No. Unfortunately, it's not even close. It's a little close in width, but there's so much extra material there for reservoir tanks and whatnot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this Sharpie, I'm gonna mark off where the hoses come through, and I'm gonna get the saws all out and some gloves because these are fiberglass. As we can see, pretty much the top isn't gonna work. The bottom isn't gonna work, and the training lines aren't gonna work. So let's do some movie magic, and we'll just skip right to it. All right.
yeah, that kind of sucked. That after all that trimming that I did, that fiberglass radiator shroud didn't work. It broke mid-cut on one of the cuts after I was clearancing it out for the frame rail, and I decided to scratch the idea. Takes us to the next problem. I'm just going to show some little clips up here, little pieces. But went to run the radiator hoses and realized that the lower radiator hose, since that's for a 6-cylinder, comes in almost directly to the fan, which means that it can't work. So, what I did was, oh, you know what? Let's just skip to it. Just swipe away. All right, so we're back. Today is Thursday. We left off a little bit last night with a parts run. I cheated. I came back in and tried to do some tinkering. I bought a bunch of hoses that didn't fit, even close. Because then I realized that the 6-cylinder radiator, that's brand new, dumps out like right next to where the fan is. So no matter what I do, the engine sits down so low that the balancer hits the hose. So decided to go a different route. What I did, you know what? Pause on that. Let's pick this back up outside. Where is he going in such a hurry? Where are we going in not a hurry? We're going to my truck. What could be going on in the truck? Could it be? What's in the box? Kinda ish. So, as I said, we were having trouble with the interface between the electric fan and belts and pulleys and balancers and stuff. So what I did, I bought this guy. I'm gonna be honest, I fought this for years. I'm not that kind of guy, but they free up a little power and it gives me some room, which is something we need. Bought an electric fan today. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I've never put one of these in. It's super easy, but as I said, it's not my cup of tea. I like the sound of a big old fat fan howling away. But we got a fan. And after digging around, I realized I didn't have any of these laying around. So I bought the cheapest ones I could find at the parts store for like 30 bucks. They're tiny, but I need a temperature gauge and I need a new oil pressure switch and gauge. So that's got everything I need. So it's time to get to wiring. So that's it for today. There's a little more footage we're not talking about, but I got like 2 more days and a lot of stuff going on. There's a Tour de Cure ride I have to go do. There's a dyno day at another shop we're going to try to hit and take some pictures or videos. Got a heck of a weekend coming up. So we're going to try our best to get these things running. Now, I did hear a rumor that Chevelle Paul has his car together and it runs enough that you don't need to bring a gas can. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully we have some footage of that this weekend. But until next time, I've got stuff to do, and I hope you do too. So get out in the garage, turn them wrenches, get dirty, stay dirty, and we'll see you next time here on The Wrench Fetish.